So for block number 2, I have finished the half double crochet block, and the directions are over here on the other page. There's the written directions. Now, the half double crochet block ended up being 20 rows high, and the single crochet ended up being 31 rows high for me. So if you're not familiar with how to count your rows, the recessed rows are the right side of the work, and the rows that are protruding are actually the wrong side of the work. So if you need to count your rows, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. This single crochet, it measured 6 3/4 across and 7 inches tall. And this yarn in general, even though it's the same brand of yarn, I just noticed that it's just more rough feeling. Now this one, the yarn is just much more softer, and I'm also adding more height in my stitches, so it just has a softer drape altogether. But so to count the rows on this one, it's the same thing. You can see the right side rows are recessed where the wrong side rows kind of protrude out. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 rows. And this one measures 7 inches across, and I actually have 7 1/4 going widthwise. So that's funny that the single crochet was actually 6 3/4. So on this one, I actually have another 1/4 inch added to it. So I'm definitely going to have to block these squares, and I'll be doing a video to show you how to do that. But so I'm going to show you how to do this half double crochet. But another video that I want to do is that the instructions tell us to crochet all the way around this square, and the creator of the pattern has us crocheting with the right side toward us. You can tell where your right side is because here's your little tail, your beginning tail, and you really probably should mark the front of it. So the dilemma that I had was that this block actually hit 7 inches and I was facing the right side. This one hit 7 inches and I'm actually on the wrong side. So the way that the directions read in the book, it's actually written more for if you end on a right side row, but on this one I ended up ending on the wrong side row. So I'm going to do a video to go over the instructions for going around, because it actually does change the wording of the first row going around there. Okay, so to get started, I'm not going to use this green yarn on camera because I tend to notice that it looks really dark and it's hard for you to see. So let me get my trusty old bright blue here. It seems to show up better. Okay, so to start for the half double crochet, you just want to make a slip knot. And I'm just going to chain, you will actually chain 27. I am going to chain 7 because I'm just going to do a little sample to show you. Now you will have 25 stitches going across in your block, and the extra 2 stitches that you need are for your turning chain. So in my case, I just want to do 5 to sample, so I'm going to need 2 for a turning chain. Okay, so to start, again, I like to just flip my work and go into the back. If you want to go into the top loop, that's fine. Now you're going to skip those 2 first chains right there, because that is your turning chain. Just flip your work, skip those first 2 bumps, and we're going to go into the 3rd bump on the back of the chain stitch. Whoops, I'm sorry about that. First, we need to do a yarn over, and then we are going to go into that 3rd bump. So 1, 2, and 3 right there, and then yarn over and pull up a loop, and you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, and going to the next bump, you'll yarn over, find your next bump in the back, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and go through all 3 loops. And you're just going to work this across. Yarn over, find that bump, insert your hook, yarn over again and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, and I'm on the second to the last stitch. Insert my hook into that bump. Oops, sorry, I forgot to yarn over. Okay, yarn over, insert your hook into that bump, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And the very last one gets a little, I always think it's a little confusing, but there's the bump right there. So I want to put my hook under there. Nope. Look what I did again. I forgot to yarn over. Okay, yarn over on half double crochet and then insert it. And then yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So counting from the top, I've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I've got 2 turning chains at the side here. And on the bottom, I should have 5 really nice stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so to do the next row, let's take a look real quick before we go to the next row, because this does look a little bit different than the single crochet. So you'll kind of see that you've got like 3 different little, 2 are kind of going up and down. This one really slants to the it always will slant to the direction that you're working toward. And then from that yarn over, we've got this extra little horizontal bar, and then at the top you've got that top loop that makes that real pretty V stitch on the very top of it. Okay, so to go on with the next row, you'll turn your work like I always like to say, like the page of a book. And it doesn't even really matter if you turn it this way, that's fine. Just be consistent, because it actually does make your edging just so that your edging looks consistent. But turn it like the page of a book, and you're going to make 2 turning chains. Oop, my yarn just spliced. Let me start over here. Okay. All right. So turn your work and make 1 turning chain and 2 turning chains. And so to make your first stitch, you're going to skip those 2 turning chains and you're going to insert your hook right into the 2 top loops that look like a V of the half double crochet. So just insert your hook. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with me today? I just cannot seem to remember that. Yarn over. Okay, yarn over first. Skip your 2 chains for your turning chains. Go into that 3rd looking V right there, and that is your first half double crochet, and yarn over and pull up a loop, and you've got 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Oh my goodness, I just spliced my yarn. Okay, I'm gonna have to do that again. That happens a lot in crochet. Your hook gets caught in the plies of yarn, and it will splice your yarn really easy. Okay, so for a 3rd go here, we've got the loop on the hook. You're going to skip the 2 chains, yarn over first, go into that half double crochet stitch right that you just got done working on the previous row. Go under both loops, yarn over from the back to the front, and pull up a loop. Yarn over from the back to the front and pull through all 3 loops. Now I kind of find on half double crochet that I have a hard time getting through all 3 of those loops without splicing my yarn. So to do the next stitch, I'm going to show you what I normally do. So you yarn over and insert your hook into the V, the 2 top loops of the single or half double crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, and instead of pulling through all loops at once, which is usually where I end up splicing my yarn, I just go through one at a time, and I find that I have much better luck that way. So whichever way works for you, you just yarn over, put it through your next stitch there, that next V, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and go through all 3 loops, yarn over, find your next V, make sure you're under both of those top loops, yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Again, you can pull through one at a time if that's easier. Okay, last stitch here. Yarn over. Here's your last V to go under. This is your turning chains right there. So that's your turning chain, that's your turning chain. So this right here is your last stitch. Get it under both those 2 top loops. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So for me, I have 5 stitches. You will have 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And at the side there is my turning chains. So there's one turning chain, and there's my other one right there. Okay, and then you're just going to repeat row 2 over and over again. So you'll just turn your work, make your 2 chains, and you will skip those 2 chains, yarn over, and go into that very first half double crochet. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and you'll have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and you'll just work that all the way across. And that's how you do the half double crochet.